So in this problem, we have been told to determine the value of tension in the string and acceleration in the blocks. Okay. So this is a frictionless weightless pulley. Then there are two weights, 300 Newton and 450 Newton. Now let's name them as block A, and let's say this 450 Newton block is block B. Now what we have to calculate? Tension in the string and accelerations in the block. See, we can denote on the diagram itself that this will be the value of tension, T. Okay. As we have previously discussed, the tension value will be common throughout the string because it is the one and common string which is attached with these two blocks and which is passing over this frictionless and weightless pulley. Now step number 1, as we have discussed in the methodology in the last lecture, step number 1 is to assume direction of motion of this block. Okay, S1 is assume direction of motion. Now from the diagram it is evident, it is clear itself that this 450 Newton block will go down and this 300 Newton block will go up because 450 Newton is obviously heavier than the 300 Newton block. But we have to assume this thing, we have to just make this assumption that both these blocks go up. Okay, both blocks go upward. Okay, and we will be mentioning this as a symbol with this symbol, that is SB or VB or AB is upward and SA, VA and A suffix A, that is acceleration. Now why we are making this assumption and why we are not directly mentioning that block B is going down and block A will obviously go up? See, in this specific simple problem, the two weights are so clear with the figures mentioned in them that we can clearly say that 450 Newton will go down and 300 will go up. But there will be some cases where you will be provided with more number of blocks and a more complex connection of string and the block. That's why in those cases it will not be possible to directly determine, to directly mention what block or which block will be going up or down. That's why what we will do, we will just make a plain assumption that everything goes up, all the blocks go up, and when we will be at the final stage of our numerical, then the positive and negative value of acceleration that we are going to calculate will tell us whether our assumption was correct or wrong. If value comes out to be positive for the acceleration calculation, then the assumption made for that specific block was correct. In case the acceleration value comes out to be negative, then we will convert it to positive and then we will change the direction of motion for that specific block. For now, just remember, we have to mention that a common direction of motion is there for the movement of the block. Both blocks go upward. That's why all the parameter, that is displacement, then let's say velocity, acceleration, everything is going upward. Now step number 2. What step number 2 is? We have to establish a kinematic relation, and for that first we have to use the virtual work done equation. Okay, now we will be calculating virtual work done for block A and block B. Okay, therefore write down virtual work calculation, virtual work done calculation. Now first, virtual work done by block A. Okay, now we will mention block A and we will be determining what exact virtual work is being done by block A. So we will be mentioning the block A's diagram over here. This is block A. Then what is the driving force here? See, in this specific diagram, the driving force, the internal force is tension. Okay, it is T. And what is the displacement here? Displacement is SA. And what is the direction of motion? It is upward. Now what virtual work is all about? Virtual work is all about internal force into displacement. Okay, internal force into displacement. Okay, now what internal force we are talking about? Internal forces are either tension forces or compression forces. Here we are all talking about tension. Okay, that's why let's write down T here. And what is the displacement for block A? It is S suffix A. Okay, therefore virtual work of block A is T into SA. Now similarly, let's try to mention what exact virtual work block B is doing. What we have to mention? The internal force and its displacement. For calculation of virtual work done by each block, the things that need to be mentioned are internal forces, tension or compression. Here it will always be tension, and what exact direction the displacement is taking place. Here displacement for block B is also upward. Therefore virtual work by block B, it will be T into SB. Now we are very well aware with the thing that total virtual work done in a system or virtual work done in a system is equal to 0. Therefore, when we want to have total virtual work done in system, okay, it is going to be independent virtual work done by A and B. Virtual work done by A plus virtual work done by B. Okay, there are two blocks only, that's why individual virtual work done by A and B, and we are going to equate it to what? 0. Now virtual work done by block A, it is what? T into SA plus T into SB. Now the thing behind having both work done as positive was, see, direction of the driving force or internal force which is causing the virtual work done is upward. Displacement is also upward. That's why product taken was positive. Similarly, in case of block B, the displacement direction and direction of driving force or whatever the internal force it is there, the direction is same, common. Okay, that's why sign for virtual work done in case of block B is also positive. Now these two things are equal to 0. Okay, this summation is equal to 0. Thereby what we can write here? We can write that T into SA is equal to minus T into SB. Alright, now what we can do? We can cut at the value of T because T is common throughout the system. That's why we can narrow down this statement as SA is equal to minus SB. Now if we differentiate displacement with respect to T, what we will achieve, what we will get? VA is equal to minus VB. Then similarly, if displacement is having equation like this and velocity is having equation like this, obviously acceleration will have equation just like this. A suffix A is equal to minus of A suffix B, and we have to make sure to highlight this equation because this is the exact kinematic relation we wanted in between these two blocks, that is block A and block B. Whatever the sense of direction, acceleration, or let's say velocity or displacement the two blocks were making, and what was the exact relation in between those parameters, that is acceleration, velocity, or let's say displacement. Therefore this is the kinematic relation we achieved, we obtained after establishing the virtual work done in the system. Now let's move to next step, that is actual application of D'Alembert principle. Okay, so let's go to step number 3, which is apply D'Alembert's principle. Apply D'Alembert's principle. Now in order to apply the D'Alembert principle, we will be needing FBD of each block. Now let's try to draw FBD of block A. Okay, now when we are drawing FBD, we will have to make sure that every force regarding that specific block is there. Now when we are talking about block A, what we will have to consider? See, let's go to original diagram. We will be considering tension, we will be considering the self-weight. Two forces are there, and also remember that the direction of motion is upward, because whenever we are applying D'Alembert principle, we not only mention the forces that are acting on the body, but also make sure what exact direction they are moving into. Therefore, this is, let's say, the tension force. Then this is the weight of block A. What is weight of block A? It is 300 Newton. What is the direction of motion that we have assumed? It is upward. And what is that? A suffix A. Because when we are talking about D'Alembert principle, the necessary parameter is acceleration, because summation F is equal to W by G into A. And this is the exact acceleration value we will be taking into consideration while we will mention the expression. Now, what D'Alembert principle is? Summation F is equal to W by G into A. Here specifically it will be weight of block A and acceleration of block A. Now, what summation F implies here? Summation F is nothing but the summation of forces in the direction of motion of the block, and we can see that force T, the internal force T, is in the direction of motion of block A. And what this 300 Newton force is doing? It is going against the direction of motion. That's why we will have to consider it in summation, but with a negative sign. Okay, T is taken positive in summation F because it is going in the direction of motion of block A. 300 is taken negative because it is against the direction of motion. Okay, there are only these two forces that are aligning parallel themselves with the direction of motion. T in the direction of motion, 300 against the direction of motion. Then W suffix A, that is weight of block A. How much it is? It is 300 Newton. And what is value of G? 9.81. What is acceleration? That needs to be calculated. That's why unknown as it is. Same thing we will be doing with which block? Block B. Okay, block B is FBD. Okay, FBD of block B. What is the self weight here? Self weight is 450 Newton. Then tension. Then direction of motion. A suffix B. Again, D'Alembert principle says what? Summation F is equal to W by G into A. Here specifically when we are talking about block B, it is W suffix B and A suffix B. Now what about summation F? Summation F is summation of forces taken positive when the force is in direction of motion, taken negative when the force is against the direction of motion. Thereby it will be T, because plus T is there because it is in the direction of motion. See the common direction here. Okay, then what is the force which is against the direction of motion of the block B? It is 450 Newton. That's why assign the minus value, is equal to WB, which is weight of block B, divided by 9.81 into A suffix B. Now what we had discussed in the methodology, we said that we have to make sure that expression after applying D'Alembert principle come out in form of A suffix A or A suffix B or A suffix B, whatever the number of blocks are there. Therefore, what we will do, we will rearrange this specific equation in form of acceleration. That is A suffix A is equal to what? Let's get this fraction on the RHS, that is this specific equation's RHS. Then it will be what? It will be nothing but 9.81 divided by 300 into T minus 300. What we have done here, we are simply converting the given D'Alembert's principles equation into a form where acceleration is on either side, that is LHS. Same thing we can do with block B's D'Alembert principle equation, which is A suffix B, then 9.81 divided by 450 into what? Into T minus 450. Now let's name this equation as equation number 1 and equation number 2. Now since we have got this equation in this specific format, acceleration format, what we can do with this now? See, what we have established previously, A suffix A is equal to minus that of A suffix B. Means we can replace A suffix A by this equation and we can replace A suffix B by this equation. But when we will be putting value of a suffix b, we will make sure that we will be attaching this negative sign. Okay, whatever kinematic relation we have established, in that relation exactly we have to insert the value of accelerations. Okay, therefore let's first write down the exact acceleration equation, that is kinematic relation. Okay, therefore let's write down a suffix a is equal to minus that of a suffix b. What we have as a suffix a? It is 9.81 divided by 300 into t minus 300. Okay, equal to, then minus, now we will write down a suffix b as it is. Okay, let's apply bracket over here. It is 9.81 divided by 450 into t minus 450. Now since we have put the equations in their specific format that we had obtained previously, here you can clearly see everything is a numeric value except for this common parameter. What is that parameter? T. Now if you rearrange or if you directly input this statement into the calculator keeping t as unknown, that is x, then the value of x in your calculator or the value of t over here in our problem will be, after calculation, it is going to be 360 Newton. Okay, remember the units, Newton. Okay, the value of t is 360 Newton. Now the first part of the problem has been solved, that is we were told to determine whatever the value of tension that was getting generated in the string. Now second thing we have to do is to determine what acceleration the blocks are making. Now let's try to write down equation for a suffix a and equation for a suffix b, and we will put 360 over there and we will be able to calculate the value of acceleration due to block A and due to block B. What is the equation for acceleration of block A? It is 9.81 divided by 300 into, in bracket, 360 minus 300. So after calculating this, we get a suffix a as 1.962 meter per second square. See, now try to recall that thing, that we had assumed some sort of direction for both blocks, and what we said over there, that in case the assumption is right, then acceleration calculation will be positive naturally, organically. Here the calculation for acceleration of block A came out to be positive. It means that what we had assumed for block A, that is we had assumed upward direction for block A. That's why the answer came out to be positive and our assumption stands correct. Okay, I will repeat this again. We calculate a value of t, then we have equation for acceleration for block A. Now when we are putting the value of t in the accelerations equation of block A regarding block A, then the value came out to be positive directly. That's why whatever assumption we had made regarding direction of motion of block A is correct. Now let's try to calculate acceleration due to block B. What it is? 9.81 divided by 450 it is, into 360 minus 450. Now if you calculate it, it comes out to be minus 1.962 meter per second square with our assumption that the block is going upward. Now when we have to make this specific magnitude to be positive, if you want to change this sign, then what we will have to do, we will just change the sign 1.962 meter per second square, and what we will do, we will change our assumption, because we understood that when value of a suffix b came out to be negative, it is implying that the upward direction that we had assumed initially while initiating the problem, it is now wrong. Okay, that's why in order to make it correct, what we will have to do, we will be changing the sign and we will be changing the direction that we had assumed. Therefore it is very much clear that when we initially saw the problem, that block A was there, block B was there, and we could directly tell which block will go up and which block will go down. Okay, 300 Newton block A and 450 Newton block B. Now see, when we could initially see, we could directly say that block A will go upward and block B will go downward. Now it is standing correct. Okay, 1.962, same acceleration, because string is common and at the both end of the string the blocks have been connected, thereby they will be having same acceleration but opposite direction. That's why when we initially assume both block will go upward, one of the assumption came wrong for block B. See, minus sign, then we corrected it, and we have now made the motion of the block to be downward, which is exactly as per our prediction. Okay, but prediction thing will not work when there will be more number of blocks. Okay, interconnected blocks and interconnected pulleys will be there. There will be more number of blocks. Apart from 2 blocks, there will be 3, 4, 5 blocks. In that case, we have to follow the same thing. We will be taking the direction of motion as upward as assumption, then we will be proceeding toward calculation of t, then we will calculate the acceleration. For whatever block the acceleration that will come out to be positive, it will be making sense that what assumption we had made was correct. In case the value of acceleration comes out to be negative, then we will be saying that our assumption is wrong, let's change the direction. Okay, so this was a simple, very typical problem regarding pulley block type problem for D'Alembert's principle. We will see some sort of complex problem with 2, 3 number of pulleys and 3, 4 number of blocks in the next lecture. Till then, take care. Bye bye.